Mel Kiper came out with the freaking mock draft. Best believe we're going to do a mock the mock on it. If you're unfamiliar with what mock the mock is, basically we take someone else's mock draft and I give you my opinions on it. So Mel Kiper, man, and I gotta be honest, man, Mel Kiper was one of my idols growing up, man. I loved Mel Kiper. I love Todd McShay. Doesn't mean I agree with necessarily everything they have to say, but I love those guys, so it's all love. But we're gonna take a look at his mock draft here today. I know y'all wanted it, so I'm gonna give it to you. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Baroshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Again, any and all support is much appreciated, much obliged. If you want, you could go ahead and become a member. That's right, I got memberships on the channel now, as you'll see, as I'm gonna do one of the members do a mock the mock on one of their mock drafts. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead, take a look. It's a great way to support me, and I do appreciate it a ton. But let's cut the chit chat. Let's get into this sucker. So we got Trevor Lawrence going a first overall. No complaints here. It's honestly, we could probably skip this at this point. This is where things get a little hot, a little heated. Devontae Smith going to the Jets, man. I don't like this for one reason, because I think you draft the court. Y'all, if you're not new to the channel, you know I'm firmly in the Jets should draft a quarterback or trade for Deshaun Watson side when it comes to this debate. For me, it's surround Sam Darnold with weapons. Yeah, he needs weapons, man. He could still be elite. The problem is, then next offseason, if he does have a good year, you have the problem of, okay, do we sign him to a 5th-year tender? Do we just give him a big extension? And then what if he just goes back to being the Sam Darnold we've seen the last 3 seasons once he gets paid? I kind of have a problem with that. I think it's better just to go in a very, very good quarterback class when you have the opportunity, get a guy on a rookie contract, and then you have the financial ability to build around him. I'm not saying that the opinion of they should stick with Sam Darnold, build around him, is wrong. I just feel like my opinion is a bit more right. But I guess we'll see it. See, hindsight's always a mother lover. Really loves mothers. Then he has the Miami Dolphins going Jamar Chase. I'm fine with this. I just did my own mock draft and I had them taking Jamar Chase. They can't trade out of this pick. Then Jamar Chase is he's the top receiver on my board. A lot of people were like, oh no, they have Devontae Parker already. Jamar Chase is not a Devontae Parker by no means. He is not. This is a guy that can actually separate. This is a guy that has reasonably good speed. He could be a 4.52 guy, so he's one of the, in 2019, he was actually the best deep ball target. So I think people forget how good Jamar Chase was in 2019. So if I'm the Dolphins, you could go Penei Sewell here, but I'd rather get playmakers around the Dolphin or around Tua. And then Zach Wilson going to the Falcons, I really agree with this. If you're in the position of drafting a quarterback, I think you should draft a quarterback. If you have no plan there. I mean, yes, they have Matt Ryan, but he's 36. I think he still has a lot of football left in him. I'm not saying, he's done by any means, but in 2 years down the line, you get a guy in Zach Wilson who's spent time sitting behind Matt Ryan, one of the better quarterbacks in the game, and developing, then your team's going to be good in the future. At least that's the plan. So I like this pick. And then Penei Sewell going to the Bengals, get Burrow protection. I think we're on the same page with that. I think this is ideal for the Bengals. And then he has Jalen Waddle going to the Eagles. I like this. I know some people are like, oh, Wentz is going to be out of town. We'll see. Maybe he could turn back to the Wentz of old. I don't think it's likely, but I don't think the Eagles are in a position to really do otherwise. I mean, yes, you can draft quarterback, but then it's like you you dumped money in Wentz, you dumped a second round pick in Jalen Hurts, and you're going quarterback again. Like, because if you do that, then hey, you're in full rebuild. It's time to shed some contracts and understand that this football team is not going to be good for the next 2 seasons. Or you could kind of hold on to hope with maybe Wentz or and just surround them with more playmakers. Jalen Waddle's phenomenal, so I'm very good. I'm very okay with this. And then Detroit goes Justin Fields. I mean, Matthew Stafford, if he's out of town, then he's out of town. It's time to get a new quarterback. This will be a lengthy rebuild, but Justin Fields, I like Fields a lot. A lot of people like to compare him to other Ohio State quarterback prospects, and I don't think that's fair because he is very different in that regard. Like, especially if let's go with the comparison of Dwayne Haskins from a few seasons ago. Like, Fields, his analytics would say he is not a system quarterback. He takes his like average depth of target was much higher than Haskins. Haskins, who really relied on his playmakers after the catch, where Fields didn't really have that. Olave, he's good, but he's not great after the catch. He kind of goes down after contact. But I like Fields a lot. You know, he throws with a lot of zip, especially on the sidelines. So yeah, I'm cool with this. And then Trey Lance to the Panthers. I think this is cool. You got Teddy Bridgewater. He's a good bridge quarterback until Lance is ready. Grab your quarterback of the future. Yeah. Dude, the way Matt Rule and Mac Jones were real chummy during Senior Bowl practices this week. I think a bold mock that I had like a month ago. I'm not saying it may come to fruition, but if it does, I'm going to have a big hearty laugh about it. Just going to throw that out there. And then Micah Parsons going to the Broncos. Micah Parsons, dude, he's a top 10 talent, man. It just really depends how teams view his potential character red flags with the whole Hazen issue dating back to 2018, and then the eventual try to cover it up with his coaches in 2020. So as more information gets out about that, it'll kind of be vital. But if Von Miller, honestly, if they move him, Micah Parsons is a guy that can definitely be a solid edge rusher, a guy I don't mind having to drop into coverage if I have to. But, I mean, Parsons says he's an edge rusher at heart, man. And his statistics, when they say, hey, go rush the passer, they say he might be an edge rusher. I'm just saying. Dallas Cowboys, they're going with Rashawn Slater. I'm fine with this, you know, if they want to eventually move on from Smith, because he is a bit up there in dog years. Doesn't mean that Slater is like an immediate plug and play on the outside, because a lot of people project that he can play guard. So you can play him at guard then. You can do that while you wait for Smith to be like, all right, time for me to go out to the pastor and, you know, it's kind of dark. On to 11. And now they got a bunch of picks. We could kind of like go over all these. The Giants get Kyle Pitts. I like this a lot. Evan Ingram, he had a ton of drops this year. Pitts is a guy that you don't have to necessarily pigeonhole into tight end. You can put him in the slot. On the outside, I think it's very important to get Danny Dimes more weapons if you're going to give him a true shot, if you think he's your guy. Patrick Surtain, first corner off the board, by the way, going to the Niners. This is a great steal if one of the corners can fall to the Niners with this pick, because as we know, like, their top 4 are all free agents. Christian Darrisaw going to the Chargers. This is going to be a very popular mock. Darrisaw, he kind of has that athletic and physical upside. The frame, the length, just it's all ideal for a top 15 tackle. And then, I mean, his tape this year, it was very dominant and against very tough competition like Quincy Roche, Carlos Basham, was it Patrick Jones and Rashad Weaver, dude. He essentially shut down Pittsburgh. Very impressive. Minnesota Vikings go Elijah Vera Tucker. Yeah, they need desperate help there on the interior. I'm trying to think, is there a better pick here? I mean, Caleb Farley, it would be a bit tempting. He's higher on my board. I mean, you can maybe make a case for Christian Barmore, but I think I'd still go Vera Tucker over that. Just because, I mean, the Vikings, they have a lot of depth on their line. I just don't know if that'll really turn into quality. But I mean, I really don't have a better answer at who to go with this pick. Maybe a Kwity Paye actually would be very intriguing. I wonder where Kwity Paye will fall here. I'm really high on Kwity Paye. You could even say some people are really high on Jalen Phillips. Maybe for some teams, concussions aren't a concern because it was really UCLA that forced him to retire. So it'll be a bit interesting. I think I might go Kwity Paye here, though. The New England Patriots go Mac Jones out of Bama. We'll see, man. Matt Rule, man, he's a bit Bill Belichick-esque in the way he coaches. So I don't know. Maybe they're best buddies, and Matt's like, "Yo, Bill, I think Jones might be your quarterback." I mean, we got this Lance kid already in this draft. So I mean, hey, Jones is there for the taking. I don't know. Maybe Jones. He does have the limited arm. He was, I guess you could say, he was a victim of having such great playmakers there at Alabama that a lot of his production, a lot of his throws weren't very contested. He didn't have to throw into tight windows because his players got such great separation. But he is a guy that when you do see when outside of structure, he can get a bit sloppy. But I mean, Jones, honestly, I think he is a fringe first rounder, and I won't be surprised to see if he does go in the first round. He looked fairly good at the Senior Bowl today, so yeah. And then on to the next slate here. The Arizona Cardinals, they make out with Caleb Farley at 16. I think that's great value. Good on y'all. Las Vegas Raiders, Jalen Phillips. I think they need pass rush in the worst way. Some people would be like, oh no, they should try to get pass rush on the interior. I'm just like, no, I think they should definitely try to go for the top pass rusher here. Kwity Paye still on the board. I might go Kwity Paye. I heard a real ugly comparison, Kwity Paye. A real ugly comparison to him being Cleveland Farrell, and I mean, I disagree. I think that I heard that comp, and I was just like, no, stop it. Then the Miami Dolphins go Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I had this in my mock draft, so I don't disagree at all, actually. I think he's, some people like Zaven Collins. It'll be really interested to see what the Dolphins and Brian Flores, who they prefer. I'm right now going to lean on JOK, but if they do go linebacker and they go Collins here, it wouldn't surprise me. And then the Washington football team, Kadarius Toney. I actually like this pick a lot. It was the pick I made in my mock. I even made a comment about this when I went to go record the video after I made my mock. I was like, crap, Mel Kiper made the same pick as me, man. Dang it, dude. I might get some flack for it, but I think it's a good pick here. I like what Toney can do for if Alex Smith's gonna be the starter, or even if they go with Heineke, because he's a very, very, very reliable target underneath. So I think he fits this offense, or at least he fits what the quarterbacks there are capable of on this offense perfectly. Tevin Jenkins going to the Bears. They do need some help on the offensive line. I'd kind of be tempted to get Rashad Bateman, get one of the receivers here. I think we're going to learn that maybe some of the NFL is not too high on Bateman, which really blows my mind, but we'll see. But Jenkins, guy that really improved his stock this year. But yeah, he did play in a wonky scheme, but he shows a lot of good movement, especially getting to the second level. He does have a bit of power, so I like this pick. And then, hey, there's Kwity Paye going to the Colts. Some way, somehow, he makes it all the way to the Colts. I disagree. I don't think he's going to make it here, but good pick on y'all, Colts. The Tennessee Titans, I actually mocked Gregory Rousseau here, too. No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't mock him here. I actually made a case why he shouldn't, if he falls, Tennessee shouldn't take him. Just because, I mean, he has that Jadeveon Clowney upside, but he is a very raw prospect, and you just had Clowney for part of a season, and he didn't do much to improve your pass rush. So why would you draft that again? I think you could go another way, maybe a Jason Owe, Aziz Al-Jalari still on the board. So J.C. Horton going to the Jets, solid. They need. I think after you get your quarterback, you go best player available, man. You just get playmakers at valuable positions. J.C. Horton, man, big physical guy. Actually, it'll be interesting to see how he fits into Slayla's defense. I'll be a bit intrigued. I don't know if that's exactly. I don't know if that's a great scheme fit. Maybe. All right, on to the next. Zaven Collins going to the Steelers, man. Solid. I mean, if they're about to lose Bud Dupree, if they're not sold on Alex Highsmith, or maybe, I mean, Collins is a guy that could also drop back into coverage, so he could be there in the middle. So you could actually have Highsmith on the field as well as Collins. So I kind of like this, just to keep improving that defense with no quarterbacks kind of available here. The Jaguars go Christian Barmore. This is just great value. Barmore had an amazing outing against that fabulous Notre Dame offensive line. Cleveland Browns, though, going Aaron Robinson. He's a day 2 guy to me, man. He came into the Senior Bowl 30-inch arms, which you're not going to find many outside corners with 30-inch arms in the NFL. To be specific, you're not going to find any. Those guys typically play in the slot, and Robinson played in the slot the last 2 seasons for Central Florida. So I don't think he's going to be a first-round guy, but I don't know. I don't think the Browns necessarily go corner here either. I mean, I feel like they could go edge. I mean, I guess they could go a variety of spots, but I don't think Aaron Robinson would be the top guy off their board. Baltimore Ravens, they get the big, fast Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. Yeah. I mean, I think I'd probably rather Rashad Bateman at this pick than Terrace Marshall. But I think getting a big target for Lamar Jackson definitely would help. I mean, we see how much he loves his tight ends, how much he loves Mark Andrews. So giving him more of a big body there on the outside, I think would be very important in his next step in terms of his development. And then let's wrap this sucker up. Trevon Moehrig going to the Saints. They're not going to be able to bring back a lot of guys in, so Marcus Williams might be out, which would be a real shame. He's been fabulous for the Saints, but I like Trevon Moehrig a lot. I think if any corner or any safety has a chance in the first round, it's going to be him. Tyson Campbell to the Packers. I mocked this myself, so of course I love it. Buffalo Bills, Najee Harris. I'm just going to say it's dumb. It's stupid. It's stupido. Just stupid. I don't know why the Bills would go running back. They need more dynamic running backs. Then go Travis Etienne. He's a way more dynamic than Najee Harris. I like Najee Harris. Don't get me wrong. I really like Najee Harris as a prospect. I don't think there's a running back worth it in the first round. You have Zach Moss. You have Devin Singletary. Singletary. Those guys are solid enough in your scheme, especially Zach Moss. I think Zach Moss really has a chance to take hold of a lead role in that backfield, but I think you're still going to see Singletary involved. Go with a more valuable position, like your defense that the Chiefs just totally crapped on. Literally, they pulled their pants down and they sat on your defense and they just crapped on it. And this is the thing, they only had one pass that went for 20 plus yards. Where did the Bills lose? They lost in the middle, man. In the middle, yards after the catch were ridiculous. And I know you're working with guys like Tyreek Hill. You can only contain him for so long, but Travis Kelce was crapping on y'all too, man. Get a safety. Like some guy that could come in and play in the box, like coverage wise. Maybe get a coverage linebacker here. Shoot, Nick Bolton's here, man. He's got some of the best instincts in this class in terms of coverage. Maybe get some edge help. Maybe get some help on at corner, get some depth, because Josh Norman ain't going to be around much longer. And Taron Johnson, he's okay there in the slot. Levi Wallace is a free agent. Like, there's just a bevy of different avenues they could go. They could even go with guard. I think guard's more of a valuable pick here than running back for the Bills. So I hate it a lot. Tampa Bay Bucks, they go Joe Tryon. I've been seeing Joe Tryon in a few mocks, first round mocks. I mean, dude's got a lot of athletic upside, man, but I think he's still learning how to play football, or at least learning how to play the position. He overruns a lot of plays, and he's a bit. There isn't much plan to his attack, man. He really just kind of out finesses with his athleticism. So I mean, this just might be a case where some guys are more high on a prospect than I am. And then Azeez Ojulari going to the Chiefs. I know Chiefs fans are telling me, nah, man, Spag, he likes them big, thick boys on the edge. Well, the big, thick boys ain't getting you a lot of pass rush. Oh, Frank Clark's done just fine in the playoffs. Yeah, how about during the season? Because he's had some of the lowest pass rush grades over the last couple of seasons. Yeah, how's that going? Nah, get someone that can really rush the passer. Ojulari, the dude doesn't have like the athletic upside as some of the other guys in this class in terms of his tools, but this guy just bends the edge, man. He's just got that. He's a very crafty pass rusher. He just shows that flexibility. He's a guy I'm exceptionally high on, and I like him at this pick. But overall, man, me and Mel, man, we were kind of on point with a few of these picks, and then he went ahead and got the Bills a running back for some odd freaking reason, and no Rashad Bateman again. So yeah, everyone and their mom apparently hates Rashad Bateman. I guess it is what it is, but that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. I'll be out with more of these actually, so be on the look for that. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.